work? It works, so it's good. So I could remove the mask. So thank you very much, especially to the. Just check. Okay. Oh, this is mine. This is mine. This is mine. Don't take me my mask. I feel naked otherwise. So thank you very much to EASA and EHA that we have the opportunity today to present the aviation safety strategy of Airbus helicopter. Like you already mentioned before, it's strange to be back at stage, but it's a good feeling. So therefore, to have this opportunity. And I tried to recover the time. So, David, no problem. The OEM is used to do that. No, just kidding. When you see in the title, I asked a question. No, at the beginning in 2018, this was a question. Are we looking at the right places if we speak about aviation safety and the improvement? And I removed the question mark because I would like to present today to you some of the ideas and how we have translated this in a strategy. Today, when we speak about aviation safety, we have to cover all the different mission profiles we have. It starts as well on the OEM with our own flight tests, the training flights as well under our responsibility, but all the different mission profiles we see here. And at the end, it's about safety for all the passengers, for our customers, and it's a common ambition of the industry. Even that we have seen an improvement over the last years for aviation safety, if we look to the challenges, the risk exposure is getting higher and higher. Global threats like the COVID-19 pandemic, and which have, of course, an impact on the aviation safety and how we do our operations. Drones, like mentioned by David as well, mid-air collision, it's getting more busy traffic in the same environment. The aging of the fleet, the aircraft fleet, the diversity of aviation professionals and the huge demand of aviation professionals we will need in the future. And of course, the diversity of missions and configurations. All these have to be considered if we speak about how we could improve aviation safety on the roadmap. So, David, you have mentioned several times the word challenge on your slides, and this is what we took in 2018. We took the challenge of the EASA safety roadmap and to ask internally, what could we do? Are we looking at the right places today to improve safety? Have we maybe blind spots, or as well to put a priority there where we think we could reach the highest impact? You mentioned the net safety benefit. This is as well something we were thinking about. The resources are limited and we have to invest in the right things to get a significant improvement. One answer was as well that we have changed our organization a little bit, as well as the scope. Of course, the scope of an OEM is classically to focus on product safety. This is our core responsibility and as well our core business. But when we all want to contribute to the aviation safety improvement in the industry, we have to look as well different. One thing was we merged our organization at this time together in aviation safety and quality, because quality was for us, or is still, considered as one of the key contributors for aviation safety. And we focused as well in the overall setup in the two aspects. One is the classical product safety, and I'm happy that I have here my colleagues from product safety and airworthiness, which is linked to that. It's our core responsibility that the product is designed without causing unacceptable risk and harm to harm persons or damage property, the classical way. And I think of course we continued on that. And then we asked ourselves as well regarding the deployment of the safety management system. We as the OEM, we are performing as well flight operation, flight test training, but as well we have a strong link to our customers. So therefore we put a stronger focus now on operational aviation safety. That means to look on the activities, to get closer to our customers and to understand what are the challenges and the risks in their missions. So therefore, you see flight operations under AH. This is mainly our deployment. We have started company-wide to deploy a safety management system over all approved organizations, as well in advance of the regulations, which will come now as well for Part 21 JG and Part 145, or published. And this is really internally. And externally, to define a roadmap, how we could work with our customer and operators in the field. If you discuss about the strategy, you have to discuss as well what are your ambitions, your vision. And in generally, we defined 5. In the central, Airbus helicopters as a worldwide expected as a worldwide leader in rotorcraft VTOL aviation safety. One of the actions here is we are represented in the Rotorcraft Committee, in the European Safety Promotion Network Rotorcraft, in the Vertical Aviation Safety Team, like you have seen. And we try as well with our Aviation Safety Network. We have worldwide in all the 26 customer centers aviation safety representatives who contribute regionally in safety activities. This is, we would like to play our role in this game. Then if you look to the other ambitions on the bottom side, the classical OEM responsibilities, 0 technical contribution to accidents. So in technical contribution and root cause. This is clearly our ambition for product safety. And 0 fatality and 0 injuries in survivable accident. And thank you, Peter, you mentioned the topic regarding the crash-resistant fuel system. It can't be that there are fatalities in survivable accidents. And that is one of the reasons, and Peter shared as well a little bit our frustration, that we developed a solution for the market. We offered it without a margin and even put on top a training package on that to promote it. And now we would like as well that every stakeholder in the industry takes the responsibility that we could contribute to this ambition. Then on the upper right, you see the 0 accident and 0 incident in flight operation under Airbus helicopter responsibility. This is our ambition linked to our internal safety management system deployment. And then you see here the link to the EASA roadmap, where it was said minus 50% reduction as well for the aviation safety. So we translated that into minus 50% accident rate reduction of our Airbus helicopter fleet in service. So from the value of 2018 until 2028. What does that mean? In generally, you see the upper curve is accident rate in 2018 and below the fatal accident rate of 2018. And in generally, if you want to reduce by 50%, we are here. If you see we are constantly decreasing the accident rate. So this is a good trend, and I think which is important. But if we want to reach our ambition, we have to do something different. Because even for the fatal accident rate, you see it's quite frustrating. So to put really a focus on survivability. But as well for the other accident rate, how could we increase the decline of the curves that we come to the ambition? So are we really looking at the right places, and are we investing in the right things? This was one of the main questions. Therefore, we have to have a look as well on our fleet. I think this is very general for the whole industry and not linked only to Airbus helicopters, that around about 85% of the accident root causes are linked to operations. This is very, let's say, global standard. And therefore, it was our target that we said, okay, we don't need only to look on product safety. We have to look as well how we could contribute to reduce these operational root causes. Important as well, the fleet composition. You see here, 85% of our operators own less than 5 helicopters. We speak about a number of more than 3,000 operators. And I could tell you 65% of these operators, of these more than 3,000, have only 1 single aircraft. We don't speak about complex organizations with a big safety management system, quality management system, and so on. So the challenge is really how could we get access to these operators, easy access, and to convince them to work together with them to improve the aviation safety. And of course, to focus on the operational root causes to get our target. I would like to show a short video where we started to think differently, as well regarding training.
IIMC is an inadvertent entry into an IFR environment. So I was planning to fly visually and I accidentally went into a degraded visual environment.
The biggest dangers of flying into IMC is that you are possibly can fly into terrain, or you can fly into obstacles, or you lose orientation.
Unquestionably, some of the most fatal accidents involve inadvertent IMC, where a pilot was not prepared and was not in a position to handle the instrument meteorological conditions.
Weather changes fast. It's clear 1 minute, next thing you know, you're socked in with fog. And if you're coming back, you got to get back. You got to figure out how to do it safely.
IIMC is something that can be a scary emergency, but can also be managed very, very well in the cockpit through the proper emergency procedures. And I think that's what an IIMC course would give you.
The Inadvertent IMC course is designed as such to be aircraft agnostic, not make and model specific. Pilots that come for training have a wide variety of experience, all the way from the private operator to the professional pilot, oil and gas, EMS, law enforcement. The Inadvertent IMC course consists of a half a day of ground school and 2 hours of simulator flying split between 2 days.
The challenge is we take a pilot, put him or her in the simulator. One of our instructors basically kind of gets them comfortable in the simulator and then introduces a degraded visual environment to kind of see what their reaction is when they go into that simulated inadvertent IMC event.
Yeah, it looks like it's closed in a little bit.
You can treat me as air traffic control if you need me for anything.
Okay. I am definitely going into it now. That didn't take long. I've gone inadvertent IMC. I am a VFR pilot, non-instrument aircraft.
When I went to IMC, I immediately got on the gauges and staring at that HSI and just trying to keep it somewhat level, and did a pretty poor job of that.
That is not going to work out here, is it? Now I guess that's bad.
This was an extremely valuable experience. It's not a big surprise. I knew, being a non-instrument pilot, never flying or having an instrument rating, it was going to be tough. You find out how fast it gets tough in there.
I need more practice. After a while flying in that environment, if you haven't done it in a while, you just need to practice. It's a very perishable skill, and that's why I think the IIMC course is outstanding. The other thing I would do is install an autopilot system in my aircraft as soon as possible. Absolutely a valuable experience. It's nice to see when you haven't flown in this type of environment in a while, how you respond to your previous training and what you may need to work on in the future.
All right, now it really does start to look like I'm starting to lose some forward visibility. Trying to maintain my 1500, well, there goes my visibility a little bit more. Boy, I've just gone complete inadvertent IMC, so I'm going to level out here.
Pilots learn about their limitations, the aircraft's limitations in a high pressure situation.
All right, we'll pause the simulator real quick. Let me take the weather out. Let's take a look where we're at.
That wasn't very good.
It doesn't take very long.
No.
For the aircraft to lose control.
Not at all.
This exposed some weaknesses that, due to the restraints and constraints in our traditional training environment, we simply can't replicate what we can in this environment in the simulator.
Yeah, this was a very valuable experience because it shows that I need some more training, either in IFR training or IMC training.
Holy cow.
All right, let's take a look at weather here. Hey.
Yeah, upside down.
Your aerobatics.
I know. Holy cow.
People come into the course thinking that they might walk away with the skills and the confidence to recover from an inadvertent IMC encounter, but in reality, the course is actually designed to teach avoidance, how to avoid the situation, and then in the unfortunate event that you actually do experience IIMC, that you have the skills to be able to recover successfully.
Every pilot should have this training. It's, I mean, no one plans to go, double IMC. I mean, that's why it's called inadvertent. You don't plan on it. And when you go into the light bulb, it's not long before you're completely lost. And if you don't have any kind of muscle memory or plan to stay ahead of the aircraft, you're just not going to be in the air very long.
Information about the IIMC course can be found on our website. It's Airbus Helicopters North America Training Center website. Please contact us today. We would love to have you at Airbus soon.
This was to demonstrate to you one thing. There was an initiative coming from our US colleagues who said, what could we do in addition to our normal type rating courses? They created a syllabus like this, Inadvertent IMC, and we tested that together with our operators. And the customer feedback was so good that they have really put it into the portfolio. And we all know that Inadvertent IMC, if you're not well trained, could be a killer. So therefore, it's very essential to work on this. And I'm happy that I get the permission to pre-announce, because David showed that training is key, and as well training solutions. So I'm very happy that Airbus Helicopter, we are cooperating now with VRM for the virtual reality simulator. So more will be communicated tomorrow, but it's a key part as well of our strategy regarding training. When we look on the operational route courses, there are, you see the main topics. I just have to see for the click. Oh no, it doesn't work. Okay, but human factors, you see there is an issue. The main are related to human factors, to situational awareness environment, like we mentioned, the inadvertent IMC, and collisions, like mentioned already in the presentation by David as well. These are the big challenges, and we said, well, let's focus on that. For product safety, there's a strong link regarding product safety, because one is to design the solutions which are linked to the operations of the aircraft. And here, clearly, we push as well to go beyond the certification requirements. And when we look for the system design, of course, there's an increase in the survivability, like we mentioned before, but the other three dots, which are marked here green, shows a strong link to the operation, to the operational aviation safety, to increase the situational awareness, to reduce pilot workload, and to prevent by design human errors in flight operations. And like James reasoned that, human error is not a consequence. It's not a root cause, it's a consequence. So we have to try to avoid that people could commit an error. When we look into the accident classification by EASA, you see as well these 4 high-scored points which are linked to aircraft upset, and therefore inadvertent IMC training could be one of the solutions, terrain collision, obstacle collision in flight, and airborne collision. So these are really as well the aspects where we said we would like to focus, especially in our aviation safety strategy. But as well mentioned in the EASA safety roadmap, data is key. Big data, everybody speaks about that. But now we have the technology to get the data. The aircrafts are equipped, but we have to use as well the data. I think that the health and usage monitoring system, the HAMS, is not new in the technology. And it's a reactive approach you see on the left side to use the data for analysis. But to use the data now proactively, like it is a target of the safety management system to focus on prevention. We have developed, for example, FlyScan, a service, which is really going into this preventive approach to get proactive alerts by vibration. There are algorithms behind and already patents filed. It's a fault cause matching, though there is already the opportunity to detect something in advance. And to put a service behind, depending on what the customer needs, a monthly report, a weekly report, a daily report, so everything is possible. At the end, there should be an advantage for the operation, which is mainly to anticipate already maintenance actions, that you see that there's something necessary to be done, but as well to increase the aircraft availability. So the data is there. It's now just about how to design the services, the algorithm to use the data efficiently. Another focus, if we speak as well about human factors, is maintenance. Maintenance is the second highest root cause for accidents. It's roughly in EASA area around about 6%, I think, of the root causes for maintenance. In FAA area, it goes up to 20%. Maintenance as a root cause. Here's a strong link between aviation safety and as well health and safety. If you speak to the operators, maintenance is considered as a hard work. It's impacting the people as well doing the work. And at the end, it's about to design from the beginning the maintenance work to avoid human errors. In that case, Airbus Helicopter developed as well in the frame of the Heli Offshore with competitors a human hazard analysis. And for the 225 and the 175, we have analyzed around about 160 sensitive tasks and as well parts, and gave more than 1,200 recommendations in the 3 years for modifications in the documentation, in the way how we do the things, and so on. So this is a great opportunity, but here you see already important is a prioritization. We focus on sensitive tasks and parts, and to estimate as well what is the effort. In maintenance, in companies, around about 20% of the health and safety accidents are related to maintenance tasks. So it's really as well one subject which is not linked only to aviation safety, but as well to health and safety aspects. I think Peter took already the most topics regarding the crash-resistant fuel tank, but I would like to mention it here as a contribution to product safety. We have developed for all the H125 and H130 variants STC solution as well to the retrofit. So all new aircrafts, of course, are delivered with a crash-resistant fuel system, but the challenge is now to get the fleet retrofitted. The solutions are existing, different ones, and they are pushed really to a competitive price onto the market, and now it's really as well the responsibility by the dedicated owners to decide to retrofit or not. But here it's really a question about the survivability and a significant improvement for safety. Another subject is really to focus on the light helicopters in our safety roadmap. The light helicopters are the biggest part of our fleet composition in Airbus helicopters, but by that as well very often the drivers for the accidents. And like mentioned, there are the 65% of customers with one single aircraft. So here, if you want to improve the safety significantly, we have to target them, which is very difficult. But we have to provide them as well product safety solutions which help. For example, now the Garmin G500H solution, which is possible to have as well synthetic vision systems and obstacle detection system linked to that. And very important, the autopilot. A simple autopilot already for the light helicopters with people like the wording panic button, but the automatic leveling. So if someone is getting in a situation that he's losing control, that he has a possibility to stabilize the aircraft with the autopilot. With the H160, we certified the first time as well linked to our Helionics avionics suite a vortex indication. You see on the left side there is a pre-warning if you are going close to enter to a vortex situation, but then if you are in a vortex condition, there are as well concrete warnings and as well procedures provided how to get out of this vortex situation. And we just recently published as well a safety promotion note regarding vortex. There are many other aspects we would like to focus on, and I don't like to say we have to think out of the box. Maybe it's to discover all corners of the boxes, to see what possibilities we have to provide solutions improving safety. So you have seen already the video for the Inadvertent IMC, to think about new technologies to do training differently. At the end, we have to bring training to the customers. Preparing and offering pre-entry courses. We recognized that the maturity of the customers coming to our training centers, they are not at the same maturity. So we develop pre-entry courses to bring them really on the same level before they go to the training. training and simulator centers around the world, but as well to look for other solutions like virtual reality simulators. And in the frame of the EASA Aviation Partnership Program, we have launched, for example, as well a lot of safety roadshows in different regions of the world. For example, in Nepal, we have the highest accident rate in our fleet, which is far above the standard, and we had launched in 2019 a safety roadshow, for example, especially there with the Nepalese operators, together with colleagues from the EASA, with experts, and to come close to the operators and to work together with them to see how to improve the safety in this region. And another subject, for example, the ground rescue booklet, and we have developed an e-learning, all free, available on the homepage, but it's about to teach as well people on ground in using our aircrafts. For example, we have very often hospital crews, there are fire department crews, and so on, who would like to be trained. And we received good feedback on these solutions that they could get familiarized with the dedicated aircraft types, and that they could train as well for emergency response plan their teams. As a conclusion, this was or is still our challenge to see how we could translate the EASA safety roadmap in concrete means, and as well feeding our aviation safety strategy and the roadmap. So if we put that in the standard process, we have as well a process to evaluate the top safety enhancers, so it's linked to the net safety benefit approach, but as well to think different, to see where are the hotspots. I think in the past we had as well not asked already what is the priority. Is it really bringing the highest benefit for reaching our ambitions? But now we do that systematically. If there's an idea to check what is a contribution to our ambitions to the 5 and what we could put in place. Important is, like mentioned already by Peter and David before, the cooperation. I think we all together as an industry have to challenge ourselves in our responsibility. What could we do different? How could we contribute the strongest on our overall journey for aviation safety? And here aviation safety is not a topic about competition. We are working in the ESPNR together with colleagues from Leonardo, with Bell on the OEM side, but as well operators who are normally competitors together. Because for aviation safety, there should be no competition. And if we want to make this industry safer, we have to work commonly and to pull into the same direction. So therefore, don't hesitate as well if you want to get in touch with our expert teams from product safety, airworthiness, or as well our colleagues on the booth. If you want to discuss more about aviation safety or have concrete questions, I would like to invite you as well to come to the booth. So Gilles Brugnot, our head of product safety, is here as well. And I will be there as well at the booth in charge for the aviation safety management. And if we are not there, because we are as well on some conferences, don't hesitate to ask on the front desk for us, and they will drop us a call, and then we could have a discussion. So in that case, I think I'm in time. I would like to thank you all for that we had the possibility here, and really, I take this, I would like to challenge you as well to think about that, what you could do for aviation safety in your areas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matthias.